The following is a presentation of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. Hello once again, everybody. Andrew Rogers here, the host of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. This is episode number 13, and of course, it is a very special Canada Day special podcast edition. Yes, as you guys can see, I'm sporting the red. Definitely, it's not for the Canadians. Don't be hating, okay? Because listen, the diehard Leaf fan, okay? You couldn't pay me enough to wear any Montreal Canadiens paraphernalia, okay? I'm just not going to happen, all right? I can't even cheer them. I'm sorry. It just goes against everything I've ever been taught as a Leaf fan. And no, I'm sorry. No, it's great to see a Canadian team in the final. Fine. Would I have preferred it to be Toronto? Yes. Am I sad that it's Montreal? Yes. But hey, let's see the Lightning win it again, back to back. Fourth team in the last 30 years. Hell yeah, let's do that. Let's go Tampa, all right? No, you know what? Hey, it's been an unbelievable series, and you know what? it's. I think it's far from over, even though it's where it's at, but remains to be seen. Anyways, Western Ontario Super Hockey League. We're back here for the podcast, another edition. Thank you very much for watching and tuning in. Last couple of weeks, we've had a couple of these Stratford Fighting Irish on the podcast. Zach Weir and Maverick Petrie. It was just an unbelievable experience having those guys on. We really appreciate them stopping in and being a part of the podcast. We appreciate everything that you guys do and, making sure to support this podcast and the league and everything. And it's all of its happenings. There's a lot of great events going on, guys. Check the team's socials for all the information on what they're doing. Any sort of event or fundraiser that they've got coming up, please do your best to support it. And support this great league because it will pay off. No question about it. Once the teams hit the ice in October, it is going to be an unbelievable league. I can personally guarantee it. Or your money back. No, I'm just joking. I don't have that authority, but anyways, no, we got a real beauty of a guest on today, Josh Diamond of the Strathroy Jets. We're going to introduce him here shortly. But again, guys, if you want to stay in touch with what's happening in the league, you can check out all of our social media accounts. They're listed here. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so make sure to check those out. Also, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. It's very easy to do, so we appreciate that. And if you want to check out our website, go to www.woshl.com for more information. So without further ado, we'd want to get on with the Canada Day Special Podcast Edition, episode number 13, Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. We welcome in at this time from the Strathroy Jets, their netminder for this upcoming October, Josh Diamond. All right, it's at this time we are pleased to welcome in our guest on this week's edition of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast, a special Canada Day podcast. We welcome in from the Strathroy Jets, their netminder, Josh Diamond. Josh, it's great to have you on here. Pleasure. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it, and welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've been keeping up with some of the other podcasts and appreciate that you're doing this.
Yeah, like I say, it's fantastic to have you on here. We're really excited, obviously, to see your net mining skills as a member of the Strathroy Jets. Take us back, I guess, to how it all kind of came to fruition, how it ended up that you would be donning the Jets uniform this upcoming October.
For sure, yeah. So last year would have been my last year of junior, and I was playing with the Strathroy Rockets. So I'm from Strathroy, so I was representing the hometown, and we lost out on our year due to the pandemic.
Right.
And I had heard from a couple senior A teams, and when Matt LeBerge, who had played for the Rockets in the past, and I've known him most of my life, when he reached out, I was just excited about the opportunity.
Yeah, like it's such a neat experience when you got so many guys that obviously from years past, that you have a special bond with or a good connection with, or at least are familiar with, and they reach out to you in this kind of atmosphere and say, okay, we got something that's going to be really interesting. Can we, do you want to come on board and be a part of something great? What is it that excites you about this opportunity the most?
Um, well, it's a new league, and right there, that's a blank slate. That's going to be very exciting to play in. And just being from Strathroy, it's a very local community that they're all about hockey. We got a
Right.
lot of support playing for the Rockets, and I'm excited to be able to help out in our community and make a name for the team.
Yeah, like I mean that is the cool thing, really. I mean there are a couple teams, like obviously of the six teams that we know are going to be playing this upcoming October. You got four fresh teams in Alvinston, Strathroy, Stratford, and Langton, and as well. Like I mean, then you got Laura and Tilsonburg who are coming in as more veterans of this league, I guess you could say, in terms of a team atmosphere, because they've got a like an identity to going into this whole thing. Now, obviously they're going to add some new players here and there, but they're going to bring a lot of the same makeup. A lot of the other teams, as mentioned before, they're bringing in a lot of people that may or may not have played together, may or may not be familiar with each other. There's going to be obviously a learning curve, but it is going to be very interesting to see how these new teams can kind of adjust in this league and really take off from the start. Is that something that you're excited about?
Oh yeah, we for the past probably 3 or 4 years, we've been skating. Just a bunch of guys who played Rockets at some point went on to play pro.
Right.
So I've been out with a lot of these guys that are going to be playing.
Okay.
So we have those relationships that have been established, or they've been growing. We've kind of learned how each other play.
Right.
So I think we will do quite well right from the get go, knowing how we each other play and playing together for a long time.
Are you familiar with a few of the people that have been announced on the other teams? I mean, having come right out of junior, like, is there a familiarity with you that you have with any of the guys that you've seen announced on the other teams?
Right away when Zach Weir was announced,
Okay, yeah.
he was my goalie partner my first year at junior. So
Oh, no way. How about that?
yeah, yeah, he
Yeah, we
told me
had him
quite.
on the podcast a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I saw that.
he's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, great goalie, great guy. He taught me quite a bit.
So is that going to be an interesting dynamic then that I should talk about a lot when Stratford Fighting Irish plays Strathroy Jets for the first time? Like, is that going to be a little bit of a personal thing between you two that, there's going to be some competition there?
Yeah, no, I think it'll be good. It'll be definitely a friendly competition. We were good with each other. He did teach me a lot. He was the older goalie. I was in my first year.
Right.
I went through some ups and downs, and he walked me through them. So I think friendly competition wise, it'll be very interesting.
No doubt, no doubt. And yeah, you mentioned kind of off the hop about this idea of playing for your hometown Strathroy. I mean, again, anytime you could strap on the skates and play for your hometown team, that's a special occasion, no question. I mean, you can draw a little bit from playing for the Strathroy Rockets to playing for the Jets upcoming and playing in that arena. Like, what is it going to be like when we get to that point of playing in front of fans? What is it like playing in front of the Strathroy community?
It's awesome. Growing up playing a little bit of minor hockey in Strathroy and just developing in this town, knowing most people, like I see everyone everywhere. They're all friendly faces. Um, and just even playing at the West Middlesex Memorial Center, we had hometown hockey come there not last year, but the year before.
Okay.
And the turnout was great. We have a great community, so it's very exciting.
And yeah, like this league is going to be very heavily driven on community involvement. And I think it's going to be so crucial, all the events leading up into the first games of the season because of, the pandemic. There, it's obviously going to play a factor. Like, I guess for you, how important do you think it's going to be in terms of the Strathroy Jet, success for the year, the community involvement and the community support?
I think it'll be very important. Strathroy is a very like hockey town. The Rockets have had a lot of support from the community, and I think the Jets, they're going to be again a very well community run team.
Mhm.
I know Matt LeBerge has put in a lot of time and effort in making sure that we players are involved in the community and that we have great connections with all of the members of the community. So I think it'll be very important.
Right on. And then, yeah, you mentioned too how you had some familiarity with guys that have been announced for the Jets. Who are you most looking forward to playing alongside?
That's a tough question. There's quite a few. I grew up watching Matt LeBerge and Wes Baker play.
Okay, yeah.
Wes Baker went on to play in AA Division One, right? So um, some big names. I mean, another name would be Brady Vandenberg. He was
Okay, yeah.
actually my coach for the Rockets, so he was very supportive. And now having the opportunity to play with him is
Right.
exciting.
Yeah, no, that it's so cool. Like, see, that's what's so great about this league. How you can like
Yeah,
you have all these connections, and that they have these different little storylines. It's very cool. It's very neat. I'm so impressed by it, honestly, because like I say, it's just so exciting to listen to
I
everything else. So when you look back on your career as a Strathroy Rocket, obviously it came to an end, and then the pandemic hit and you lost your overage year. I mean, we'll get to that in a minute because I have a specific question I want to ask you about that. When you reflect though on your career as a Rocket, what will you take away from it?
um I I joined into the Rockets as a 17-year-old, so I was still young, but it wasn't the youngest you could be. So at that point, I had played a year of major midget prior
Okay.
and had a very successful year. So going into the Rockets, I was very confident. Um, I was the younger goalie, so I uh, I wasn't getting a ton of games, and I was getting a lot of learning opportunity though. So working my way up, I had some rough goes. I mean, there was a game where we played in Chatham, and it was a rough game. I was worried because that was my 17-year-old year that what's going to happen after tonight because we lost by quite a bit. I didn't play the best, and I haven't had much opportunity to prove myself. So at that age, you're worried about are you going to stay there.
Right.
But I do remember that Zach at the time came up to me on the bus on the ride home, told me not to worry about it. He just talked me down. And from that game since, I think my confidence has been it's been unbelievable how well I've bounced back from that. And I've carried that memory throughout junior, and I'm going to continue to hold on to that. That you know things are going to happen, and you got to learn to let it go, especially in the goaltending position. So I think my confidence is going to be great coming from junior, and I've developed a lot as a goalie as well, positioning wise, and just being ready for the puck.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. That's really awesome, man. I like how you speak about teammates and just how they're able to build you up. The other thing that I kind of find interesting when I talk to goaltenders, generally there's this idea, this understanding of having this very, very short memory. Obviously, easier said than done. Can you speak a little bit about how important that is in your position of the position that you play?
Yeah. So actually playing for the Rockets, our trainer Brooksy, he after every game, if it was a tough game, he would make sure to come up to me and say, "Remember, you're a goalie. You need to let it go. That's part of the position. You're good at this. I know you are." And he would just the continuous reminders would keep you on your feet and make sure you keep your head high.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And then obviously it's funny because I think you can. There's a lot of things as a goaltender that you can apply to everyday life skills. And I think one of them is that really rings true. And again, I'm not speaking as a goalie myself. I always played forward or a crappy defense or whatever the case. But no, I mean I did play goalie one year and it was tough. I that's just not really necessary to bring up because flashbacks. But anyways, the thing that I find really interesting about it is that you're your own worst critic, and you can be in your everyday life, no question. I sucked today, or I did a crummy job at work, or whatever. It's always so much easier to be your own worst critic and to knock yourself down than to build yourself up. And when you're a goalie, I can only assume that that's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. If you let in a bad goal during a game, it's easy. It's really easy to get hard on yourself and kind of just throw yourself out of the game, talking about how you should have had it.
Right.
So it's so important to be able to let that go and just worry about the next puck,
Right.
the next shot.
Now, so then take me back to like when it was that you first got your hockey start. And I guess, how did it all become, how did the pieces all fall in line for you to become a goalie? I mean, parents, that's a nightmare because obviously there's a lot of equipment and it's very expensive, et cetera, et cetera. I guess, what was it that drew you to being a goalie?
For sure, yeah. I mean, I started playing or being on the ice at a young age, probably 3 or 4, just getting on the ice and doing a little power skating, whatnot, getting used to the basics. And I played tight in Strathroy, and at that point, it's everyone gets a chance to play goalie. It's a little bit of a rotation, and when it was my turn, I played really well, and I quite enjoyed it. And my younger brother is a forward, so I after that one first time trying goalie, I wanted my brother to shoot on me in the basement, and just over time of continuously playing in the basement, having tons of shots, whatnot, I felt that that's the position for me. So moving out of Tyke into novice, I was committed to that spot. My parents were very supportive of it as well,
That's good.
and it's just gone great since then.
Well, that's good. That's great. No, and like, can you say, would it be a factual statement to say that they were your biggest supporters in when it came to hockey and being involved? Like, do you owe your hockey success to them, or was it maybe a coach or a teammate that really was the driving force behind your love for hockey?
Yeah, I mean, my parents have been so supportive, just driving me to games, spending time, money on me. It's crazy. I could never thank them enough. Um, and even some coaches as well, like my goalie coach Steve McKeegan. He's pushed me a lot, um, and I thank him a lot for that.
Awesome. I like that. Anytime I could give a guy an opportunity to give a shout out to a coach or somebody who is inspirational, I love to take that opportunity because they are the unsung heroes. They deserve all the credit. And again, not to take any of the credit away from you, the player, because again, that's what this league's all about: is shining spotlight on the players, shining spotlight on the guys that are going to be the driving force in the forefront of this league and how great it's going to be. And there's a lot of cool things that are obviously going to be coming along with that. The hockey tech involvement is a huge one that we've been really behind in having every team have their games streamed. Like, is that going to be very exciting for you? Is that something you're going to be used to? Like, I don't know if they stream the junior B games while you play for the Rockets, but is that going to be interesting for you? Are you excited about that?
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. I have grandparents who I'm sure would love to come to games, but they probably won't be able to make them all. So
Right.
having them be able to watch from home, that's very exciting. In the GOJHL, we did have games streamed on Hockey TV,
Okay.
and
Yep.
the London Nationals, they actually had the games broadcasted on Rogers TV. So
Right.
whenever we played the Nationals, they were a very strong team, so
Right. Right. Right.
wasn't always a great game to watch, but the grandparents did love watching those games.
Fantastic. Yeah, and your boy Zach Weir would have played for the London Nationals as well, which is kind of funny. And
Yeah,
that's the Nationals, the attachment there. That's kind of cool. We're
yeah,
talking with Strathroy Jets netminder Josh Diamond right here on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast, the Canada Day special. Josh, like again, like anybody who has an opportunity to play hockey will tell you how great it is. They'll rave about why it's so great. Everyone has their own personal take. A lot of it can be dissimilar, I guess. What is it for you that drives you, and what is it that keeps you coming back? Like, what do you enjoy the most about playing hockey or being a netminder or et cetera, et cetera?
for sure. Um, Honestly, it's the relationships that you build, and just becoming a better person on your own. There's so much to learn from hockey, teamwork, right? Learning respect, how to be a leader. And I feel that the sport has taught me so much that it has to offer, and I just want to continue to grow as a person.
And like, I guess when it comes to this league for the upcoming season, I mean, obviously there's a lot of excitement around it. There's a lot of enthusiasm from everybody up top, at least from the organizational standpoint. A lot of people that have their hands in it in terms of trying to think about how great this league is going to be. like, I guess, like, what are you most excited about, and how do you see the Strathroy Jets, locking up this year? Like, do you have high expectations? Like, what is the hope?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to get on the ice again. It's been a while since the lockdown and whatnot. Um, but I'm excited to play in front of the community again as well. And just being in the community, being a part of it, representing the team. And yeah, I'm just excited for it a lot. Like, it's crazy.
Now, do you think that like, do you think that's something that a lot of players are going to share, that same kind of passion? Like the overage year and the pandemic just ripping that apart from players is obviously such a killer, because, guys that were fully expected to have that overage year with their buddies, their teammates, their coaches, their friends, their families, like all sorts of things that were just abruptly taken away like that. Do you think, like, I mean, you could speak to this yourself a little bit, does that fuel you even more to want to get back on the ice and just hit the ground running in this whole league?
Oh yeah, it's been burning inside trying to get back on and just ready to go. Definitely with the new team. I mean, we've all played together, whether that just be on Sundays as a group. So we kind of know how we play. But I think that all the guys are just so excited just talking to some of them that as soon as the season starts, I think we're gonna hit the ground running. And I do have high expectations for us because we have been such a great group. A lot of players have played high level of hockey. And again, because we have those relationships built, I think we'll be a great team.
Now, obviously, as a goaltender, you probably have a lot of heroes from your childhood that you've watched and really appreciated. Like, who's your team? Who's your favorite goalie? Like, and I guess why is that person your favorite goalie? Why do you look up to him?
That's tough. So I'm a Pittsburgh fan, and
Okay,
it's
yeah,
tough to say that uh, my favorite goalie is Fleury. So it was
he's a
tough when
good
we
one.
lost him. It's tough when we lost him. Uh, I guess he's my favorite goalie because he's so calm. Just watching interviews or listening to interviews off the ice, he's a funny guy. He knows how to let bad situations go, and that's how I strive to be off the ice as well. He's a good team leader. He lets things go, and on the ice, he's focused. Um, he's focused on the next shot, and he prioritizes the game.
No, that's a great answer, man. I really like that a lot. Josh, this has been absolutely excellent, dude. I really do appreciate you coming on here and taking the time to speak with us. We really look forward to coming out and seeing you play, seeing you strap on the orange and black of the Strathroy Jets, because man, those uniforms are going to be sick, no question. The logo's awesome. I'm really a big fan of that. But honestly, dude, you're just a stand-up guy from what I can tell, and I'm really looking forward to watching you captain the Jets out and putting that team on the ice and putting them on your back. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we do really appreciate you coming on here. Thanks a
For
lot for
sure.
coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, we've been talking with the Strathroy Jets netminder, Josh Diamond. Josh, we'll talk to you soon, and we'll talk to you throughout the year. And take care, man. Thanks a lot.
Perfect. Thank you.
This Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast is brought to you by Joe's Diner. Come and enjoy Joe's all-day breakfast, located at 155 Erie Street in Stratford. Call 519-272-9933. Yeah, once again, folks, I want to thank our guest on this week's edition of the podcast, Canada Day Special, Josh Diamond of the Strathroy Jets. It was an absolute pleasure to speak with him, and we really do look forward to seeing him man the nets for the Strathroy Jets this upcoming October. I want to thank our sponsor, Joe's Diner. They're at 155 Erie Street in Stratford. They have unbelievable food, guys. Really, it's definitely hits the spot every time. So make sure to head on to Stratford, check Joe's Diner out, and make sure to get in some delicious food, because it really is really good. But we thank you we thank them very much for sponsoring this podcast and supporting it 100% and all they do for this league. We want to thank our league president, Jamie Petrie. He's been outstanding, and we do really appreciate everything he's done to this point in backing this league and getting it going. And we really look forward to what's going to happen next. All sorts of things happening. There's a lot of events coming up for all the various teams. So we're looking forward to all of that as well. And for Puck Drop, when and if that happens, we'll be welcoming fans back into the stands. And that'll be a welcome sight, no question about it. Thank you guys for watching once again. I'm Andrew Rogers, the host, Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. This has been episode number 13. Until next time, enjoy your weekends, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.